Trevor must have a great Popol and Koopa game. That's first one. And number two, they gotta make sure Fuzukin's messed up here. And I wonder if they're gonna do that. They need to mess with the bulwark timings, and they need to go for that hyper-aggressive route.
Yes, and speaking of hyper-aggressive route, it looks like BSB is trying to three-man the two, one of the, crunchiest heroes of Onic PH here on the top side. But you know what? I think they're turning really the tides around here and just getting the resources, stealing it away from the core damagers of Onic PH. But that's okay because this is still too early. And, there's also a downside to being too much together onto the early phases of the game. It means that Popol and Koopa won't be able to kill as much. Like what you said, hyper-aggressive play. And this is where that BSB is pinning down the bombs on.
Oh, look at that. Look at the damage output from the Koopa aggression combined with, of course, Kimmy's super early game unlimited normal attacks. You gotta actually admire that. Yeah? They're doing a great job of getting resources, although I have to say, it's always shared between the Koopa and the Kimmy, I think. I don't know if he has a mask or anything.
Indeed, so I think we are going to have a potential tower dive right here. But you know what? The Sicilian will retaliate that with a pick-off for himself, and the Fuzukan will be forced to flicker out to safety, and Kim here just harassing them non-stop. But this isn't really on a slightly favor of BSB simply because they weren't able to get a pick-off. Number two, if you look at the bottom side of their map, it's already teared down. And looking here, back again with this skirmish fight, the Claude and the Thongs was able to get a kill for themselves. So the initial aggression of BSB earlier from this top side, grouping themselves together and getting a potential pickoff did not turn into their favor. And at the same time, Onic PH was able to get a snap on their own.
Wow, the revenge from Onic PH.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that was just way too much to handle there for BSB, and it does show. So once more, we are in a bit of a pickle here in terms of the Popol and Koopa picks. But hopefully that changes. But right now, that doesn't feel like the case. S-Man going down real quick here with the action from D-Lar, and oh my Venus. While on the other sides of the map, everyone is just receiving pressure left, right, and center. Right now, top lane, I think they're not done.
They are not done.
Oh,
will be used, and Kaplan won't be able to make it in time, and that was a successful tower dive by Onic PH. But again, Trevor will be trying to pull this through. He'll be trying to pick up Dar right here. He's gonna get ejected by the Jawhead, but up to what cost? The Claude has Turtle, and now they're low on HP. Let's see, the Blazing Duet will be used in a timely manner to get that pick up to and fro, and saving Fuzukan to safety. Wow, and
oh, man.
I would like to highlight earlier the pick-off that Sicilian, with the help of his flame shot all throughout, really helped. And that's where it usually starts. So, man, this is just dominating.
Absolutely dominating, I would agree. I'm actually although I'm a little surprised, BSB is actually somehow keeping it together. They're not as behind as I think most people would think because of the picks. They're not super behind yet. They still have some of that aggression in terms of Shider Cutie. Still has some damage, but again, it is fading very, very quickly. I'm wondering where BSB can pull off some of this damage because the Koopa's not really growing as much as it needs to.
Yes, because you mentioned earlier that BSB is opting for a hyper-aggression in terms of the early game, right? Hence the reason why they went and grouped themselves together on the top side. But the thing is, Onic was able to counter that and deny that hyper-aggression. And now they're turning the tides into their favor right now, allowing, at the same time, giving this Claude a huge amount of space to scale and, deal some damage when it comes to the clashes.
Yeah, and you notice it, right? Whenever the Claude goes in, whenever Wise decides, hey, I want to join the team fight, oh my gosh, really, BSB HPs just get demolished. Completed already is the Raptor's Machete and the Demon Hunter Sword. Very, very important tools for a Claude, and that is why he hurts like a boss.
Indeed, and this is only in 5 minutes in, and we are now seeing a huge gold gap for both sides of the team. Okay, another one will be pulled through. Numinous Blast will be hitting none, but still, that was a pick up for the Toms alongside the Sicilian support, and they are not gonna stop. Blazing Doom is gonna be used onto the tower dive. They will proceed to get that pick up. Jawhead will be taking one for the snacks, but unfortunately, that was a beautiful sweep by Onic PH.
Absolutely. Gotta commend Wilson there for the nice attempt and removing Wise. At least it slows down the aggression, slows down the damage rather for Onic PH by a little amount. Let's have a replay. Look at that because we have a lot to break down because that went so bad for BSB. Everyone just died one by one. No one could do anything to help one another. Wilson again tried to go for the kill on the Wise. Does manage to pull it off and help the tower, but again, at what cost? I think they lost a lot of gold in that exchange. Look at that, 7k goalie.
Indeed, I agree with you on that. And the thing is, you can really see the difference in terms of how BSB and Onic PH engage in a team fight. If you notice that Onic PH waited for the remaining members to really huddle together, while BSB, if you saw, there was an early engagement by one of their members. And again, when I talk about space, Claude is just going all out. And speaking of all out right here, just look at the HP, look at the damage output they're inflicting on Cap 1, forcing him to back away. And now transitioning to the middle side, and it looks like more and more damage output with the help of Lolita manages to negate that.
Oh, why? Still good damage! And of course, it's gonna be the bats. So we're gonna finish it off here. Oh my Venus, this support mage. Oh my Venus, when you hold that Sicilian, just always so scary.
And that's the thing, that's the good thing, that if you have a wide pool of champions. And speaking of heroes right here, another one for the snacks. They're just doing this all through and through. You know what? If you go near us, we're gonna pick you up so easily. And down goes the middle turret right here. And they're not, they're not rushing this. They just really want the bases out, exposed and about. Oh my!
Not rushing this.
Goodness.
We're at 7.5 minutes. What's happening here? This is too fast.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my God!
Okay,
What the humanity right now?
This is torture. When I said not rushing, I meant not rushing in terms of going for the base. But in terms of the game, they just finished it all.